and thanks for the joint business. I'm Jürgen Gress, your host, and a member of the Oracle Product Management team. Data is the foundation of digital transformation. Partners contribute to our success and ensure customer cloud utilization. Let's celebrate your partner success and accelerate cloud growth. Objective of this webcast is to update you on the latest cloud services to discover new service opportunities. Let's hear from the experts, you as a partner, what makes them successful and how we continue to accelerate growth.
Hello everyone, my name is Amit Singh and I'm an Associate Director with Accenture Oracle North America practice. I'm here to talk about integrations and an exciting product that Oracle offers, Oracle Integration Cloud. As you have seen that our customers, clients have started moving their all workload to the cloud, right? Taking step by step some of the applications, especially ERP, CX, HCM. With that, there is a need how to integrate those applications with other boundary systems and downstream systems. And Oracle Integration Cloud just fits that requirement. There are other iPaaS platforms on the market, but Oracle Integration Cloud is standing out when you have to integrate with Oracle SaaS applications. And we have seen that especially some of the features like event handling and ability to integrate with your on-prem system using their connectivity agent, which doesn't require any firewall to be opened. And we have used it for multiple clients where they have to integrate with their on-prem systems or with Oracle Cloud Solution. So if we have to integrate Oracle SaaS application, Oracle Integration Cloud is the way to go for it. Now, the question is that how do you train your resources on Oracle Integration Cloud? How do you get your resources onto Oracle Integration Cloud quickly? And the solution is that Oracle offers a lot of boot camps around the year to get your resources trained on Oracle Integration Cloud. Best of luck for your Oracle Integration Cloud journey. Thank you.
Digital Assistant is a chatbot service from Oracle, including pre-built bots for Oracle SaaS, or partners can leverage templates, for example, a Business Suite or IT Help Desk, to build custom conversational AI solutions. Ruben Rodriguez from our Spanish partner Vantic helps you to get started.
Digital Assistant, or ODA, is the Oracle platform to build enterprise-grade chatbots. Thanks to the Oracle Product Management team, we built a Katacoda set of scenarios. So anybody that wants to get started with ODA can do it easily. In order to be an expert, the key thing is to build chatbots and build chatbots. So in order to do it, I suggest to follow the guidelines and best practices from the Oracle Product Management team that you can find in the link below, bit.ly/ODA enablement. And also you can watch some of the detailed use case implementations prepared by Frank Ninfuse on YouTube.
What are the sales secrets from successful partners? Andrew from Intrasea shares his tips.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all about the demo, right? It's always better to show you than to tell you. So in a sales cycle, we'll have people come to us. Generally, they're asking about chatbots, not realizing the full potential of what I would call a digital assistant. So they engage with us, asking some basic questions, and we immediately get them into a demonstration. That's where we showed them, really powerful real life examples hooked up to our demo systems, such that the story tells itself. And once they see that demo, they really see the value. They see how this interaction could be better than an interaction with a human. It can be more available, it can be faster, and it can even be more accurate. And so that demo really gets that point across. And from there, they kind of start to think about their own use cases and how the solution might work for them. So our big one right now is digital assistants. In order to deliver digital assistants, we use Oracle's PaaS service, Oracle Digital Assistant, and we use Oracle's cloud infrastructure to run software that automates and integrates and helps us speed up these projects and deliver more value in a shorter time frame.
Oracle recently announced the fiscal year 2021 financial results. Safra Katz, Oracle CEO, highlighted the Oracle SaaS growth, with Fusion ERP up 46% in Q4 and Fusion HCM up 35% in Q4. Oracle is the world's biggest cloud ERP business. What does it mean for you as a partner? Participate and leverage the SaaS growth. SaaS services like HCM, ERP, and CX need to be connected. Accelerate your customer projects with pre-built certified adapters. Customize and extend SaaS projects with the same tools that we use to build the applications. And innovate your SaaS projects with conversational AI. Let's celebrate your success and accelerate our joint business. Here are 4 steps to continue our growth. Access the Oracle Sales Kits, including customer presentations in PowerPoint format, cheat sheets, and demos. Make use of the marketing services Partner Finder and Cloud Marketplace to promote your service offerings and applications with our customer base. Become a trained and certified expert with the hands-on trainings for Oracle Integration and Digital Assistant, and join the communities to receive our monthly newsletter, attend the monthly webcast, and collaborate with the Oracle Slack channel. Thanks for the excellent partnership. I would like to introduce Suhas Odia, Vice President, Product Management for Integration and Digital Assistant. Suhas, over to you.
So greetings, everyone. My name is Suhas Odia. I run product management for a number of services. The list keeps growing, which is great news. I'm also joined today from my team that's online who can answer any of your questions, as well as Arvind Venugopal, who is the product manager for process automation, which is going to be a new service that we're going to be introducing as a standalone very soon. But you guys already know it as part of Oracle Integration Cloud, previously known as on-premise, known as BPM. Arvind has joined us, and he'll be showing off a few new things that we've done in process automation. And in his spare time, he also runs the B2B product management team. All right, so today, if I can move my slides, there we go. Okay, yes, in terms of the agenda, first of all, a very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for your participation, as well as for helping us move the needle in the cloud with our services and also other OCI services. Today, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the challenges facing digital transformation leaders today. While the software industry has always looked at automation to increase productivity, reduce costs and errors over the past decade and more, enterprises still find it difficult to get visibility into the actual execution of the business processes, and also the different execution variations of the same process by different employees. So I'm going to focus a little bit today on what is intelligent automation, the market dynamics around this, what people, different things that people call it, and how we at Oracle are approaching intelligent automation with a view to enable you, our partners, to help our customers connect, extend, automate, and enhance Oracle apps and non-Oracle apps. But today we'll focus a little bit on the core pieces of those components that help you drive intelligent automation. And then Jürgen will come back and talk a little bit about how you as partners can get support and the resources available to you to take full advantage of that. And then I'll end with a summary. So we have a lot of content. I'm being over ambitious, but I hope to sort of try and get this done within the hour. So I appreciate your patience. So where's my mouse not moving? Here we go. All right, so we continue to see an incredible growth in cloud adoption, be it with customers adopting SaaS applications or lift and shift of workloads to the cloud, or developing net new cloud native applications. Majority of our enterprise customers have at least some of their workloads in the cloud, and are in a hybrid mode with some applications in the cloud, but still some applications on premise, which brings with it its own set of challenges, but plenty of opportunities for you and us. Gartner predicts that this move to the cloud will continue to accelerate at twice the rate by 2023, and I'm sure you're seeing all of this in your customer base too. Jürgen talked a little bit about the incredible growth we had in our applications business, but we're also seeing this too with over 100% consumption growth in the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. We refer to that as OCI, that Safra also shared in the recent fiscal 21 Q4 earnings call. So again, we thank you and thank all of you for your partnership in driving this consumption, not only for the services that I own, but which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in detail, but also for all the other OCI native services. So let's start by taking a look at the trends in the intelligent automation space and our approach in this space. So one of the top strategic trends that Gartner has been talking about is hyperautomation. Different analysts refer to it in different terms. Forrester refers to this as intelligent process automation, Forrester as digital process automation. We at Oracle call this intelligent automation, and in fiscal 22 and forward, this is sort of a marathon, not a sprint. We do see a lot of investment going in this direction towards intelligent automation, and we'll come up with sort of a combined platform called the Intelligent Automation Platform in fiscal 22 and add to it as we go forward. But the core essence to intelligent automation is to automate anything and everything that can and should be automated. Sounds pretty simple, right? But it's clear where the world is headed. But what is hyperautomation, and how do we get there? You may ask, isn't this just robotic process automation, RPA? And to a certain extent, you're right in thinking that, but RPA isn't the end and all be all for intelligent automation. That's sort of how we all got started. But it's certainly one of the components of hyperautomation. So defining hyperautomation over and above RPA is a process in which businesses automate as many of the IT processes possible using more advanced tools like artificial intelligence, machine learning, event-driven software, RPA as well, and other types of decision process and task automation tools. So there's a lot to it. And the next slide really sort of shows the confusion, if you like, that is in the market. So if you look at sort of what are the tools for hyperautomation, this is a slide from Gartner where pretty much, well, it is everything. The kitchen and sink thrown at this problem, from iPaaS to IBPMNS to AI to chatbots to LCAP, which is the low-code tooling, and pretty much anything and everything required to make this operational. So it's pretty daunting, right? Applications, at the end of the day, are systems of records which are quite functional today, but they're difficult to use and stitch together to accomplish tasks. So humans are still acting as the connectivity tissue for this. To identify and automate varied, custom, complex tasks requires us to be agile, flexible, and have intelligent tools that are deeply connected to the apps, databases, and the infrastructure. So what customers are looking for is to empower through a combination of line of business users who really understand the process context, with automation power users, i.e. folks that are IT aware, that are developers or perhaps low-code developers, and use these tools to address sort of the seams in the apps and the bottlenecks in the processes, especially as most of our customers are in a hybrid mode where they're dealing with on-premise applications and SaaS applications. So the RPA vendors certainly made a head start in claiming this space, but hyperautomation is much more than record and replay of user tasks, whether executed in attended or in unattended mode. Record and replay of a bad process just automates a bad process. So here is sort of where we really need to drive intelligence through what we refer to as systems of intelligence, system of engagement, and working with a system of data record, which is basically the apps in the back end. So the fastest growing category of hyperautomation enablement software includes tools that provide visibility and map sort of business tasks and process, orchestrate work across multiple systems, provide complex rules engines, and enable sort of what we refer to as configurable workflows. There are indeed many vendors with one or more offerings in the space, whether it's iPaaS or RPA or IDP or virtual assistants, that are claiming to be the provider of intelligent automation solutions. It's one of those examples of the 9 blind men and the elephant, right? Anyone who touches that will explain it that they are doing hyperautomation or intelligent automation. However, from all the analysis we've done and speaking to all the analysts as well, no one vendor provides an integrated offering between the system of engagement, which are things like your web apps, your mobile apps, your chatbots. System of intelligence is really driving intelligence as part of the core application, and of course, system of data for automation. We at Oracle are uniquely positioned with the SaaS apps, i.e. that provide the business context and the data, the cloud platform, which is not only infrastructure, but all the AI services and all the other higher level services that Amit and Ruben and Andrew talked about. And these really provide a differentiated and innovative solution for us in the marketplace we've been at it for a while. We just didn't call it hyper automation, but now we're beginning to sort of group this all together to create this new concept called the Intelligent Automation Platform, where all of these pieces come together to provide our customers that level of intelligence. So what further differentiates and makes us unique? First of all of Oracle's app dev services, including those used by our SaaS engineering team, our GB engineering teams, are and will continue to consolidate on the Oracle Cloud infrastructure and available for you to use them. So in fact, so that the underlying layer, everything at Oracle, every little piece is now has either moved or moving to the OCI infrastructure. All the Oracle's past services, as you knew it, are now OCI native services. That includes integration, process, digital assistant, visual builder, and the like, right? All of the Oracle SaaS apps have or are building their core capabilities using the services. In the past, there used to be sort of these walls between the PaaS and the SaaS, but now as things are being consolidated over the OCI infrastructure, we're beginning to see all these units of work actually, or these components actually becoming core embedded features within the application itself. So, and I'll talk about this in more detail, whether it's integration or process or digital assistant or the AI services or Visual Builder Studio, they're all core components. Now, you as partners can use the same loosely coupled but tightly integrated, which is sort of an oxymoron statement, but they are loosely coupled in that you can choose to pick whichever component you want, but they're tightly integrated not only with the OCI services, but also with the SaaS applications to help customers rapidly hyper-automate their own in the remaining whatever 20-30% that they want to do. What does that mean to you? Less mechanics to hassle with and more innovation faster. So in other words, the building blocks are there. They're actually being adopted by the SaaS applications. But as we all know, there is no 100% fit for customers. So here's an opportunity. Well, there are two opportunities. One is that not all customers are end-to-end Oracle, much that we would love to have that. So we will continue to see a hybrid or multi-vendor, hybrid and multi-vendor environment in customers. So that opens up the door for multiple sort of integration points and process automation points and so on and so forth. But also within the Oracle apps, it's not 100% fit for every customer. And there's the opportunity to sort of really customize it for that particular customer. So when we talk about automation, what do we really mean by that, right? So let's take a look at all these sort of business challenges that customers have, right? So whether we're modernizing HCM, which is sort of from hire to retire or recruit to pay, or ERP, where we're transforming an agile finance and supply chain business, or in CX, whether it's for customer service in terms of self-service or supporting customers to internal lead to invoice, or intelligent automation really helps address some of the key business digital challenges. Now, these end-to-end processes often involve more than a single business system. No single application is really going to handle all of this. Let's just take recruit to pay, for example, whether you're using Oracle HCM Cloud and using Recruitment Cloud, or still have Taleo, or customers or have different sort of payroll, whether in the US it's ADP or Paychex, which then as part of your provisioning want to integrate with ERP for procurement of a laptop or a badge or whatever the case might be. Each of these systems do hit multiple backend systems, including whether it's custom, on-premise, Oracle, non-Oracle, and requires analytics at each point of the case. So let's drill down a little bit into ERP for as an example, and look at sort of a very common one that we see, which is from raising a requisition to receipt, right? So this is sort of starts with requisition to fulfillment to creating invoice to payment, and then payment to receipt. So there's a lot of these business processes that make up this step. And this is not, I'm not kidding you, we have experience in connecting to probably every single one of these permutation and combination of applications that customers have. But not only that, not only is this about automating the process, but also ensuring that we have the right workflows and business processes in play through process automation, where if there's any exception or we have a human in the loop workflow approval required, that these are all seamlessly integrated as part of the experience itself. Now, one area beyond sort of what, and this is sort of really driven through integration that has both the integration capabilities, the orchestration capabilities, as well as the human task and workflow capabilities all built into one. But beyond this, one of the areas where we are really truly driving this automation is an example of invoice processing through using AI and machine learning and digital assistants, where we are able to take in an invoice through multiple channels, whether that's an email attachment or someone going up online and submitting via a web form or via the digital assistant, being able to handle these new use cases of documents being processed through this new concept that we're creating called the doc processing digital worker, which is the next evolution from a skill. We'll talk about this in more detail, but this is where the intelligence comes in to understand, okay, we've got we use auto ML to define and determine what kind of document did we get. Did we get an invoice, a PO, or a bill of lading, or is it an expense receipt? We're able to understand the semantics of that document and then automatically sort of process it. So there's built-in OCR capabilities, and then using our advanced language understanding capabilities to process these components or these properties, if you like, from the document, and then integrating this with process automation for multiple types of workflows. Whether it's, hey, I still, I understand that you've done all this great stuff, but I still need a human to approve it before it actually goes to payment, or it can be automated. But I need a human to handle any exception that happens in the case of a new type of invoice that the ML engine hasn't seen before. And obviously, after doing all of that, the last part is to now integrate this into the system of record where Integration Cloud comes in. So this is sort of an example of how we look at intelligent automation, and we believe we're the only vendor in the market that, given the application, given sort of the infrastructure, and given all the other components, we can really sort of do a good job in delivering into this promise that we have out there. So given that as a background, let's look at sort of how we connect, extend, automate, and enhance Oracle apps. So we'll first start with integration. And most of you sort of have awareness to it, but I want to start with one very important data point that we got as we talked to a number of our customers. And we're talking about migrating workloads to the cloud. This wasn't a discussion around migrating SOA to the cloud or migrating integrations to the cloud. It was generally, what sort of is the biggest challenge that you think you will face or you are facing in migrating your workloads to the cloud? And the number one loud and clear answer was integration. And it's obvious because most customers have a pretty sort of complex environment on-premise that's made up of multiple vendors, custom apps, and spend a lot of time either with Oracle using SOA or non-Oracle using TIBCO or whoever else to create integrations, and that's sort of their number one challenge. And so does Gartner also see that as a big thing, right? So Oracle has been in the integration business since 2008 actually, and has been a market innovator and leader from the traditional integration of on-premise platforms, which we call SOA, and more recently with a cloud native, as Gartner refers to as EIPaaS, the Enterprise Integration Platform as a Service, with over 5,000 plus customers. So we provide the broadest and the deepest set of services to meet all of your integration needs for application management, data integration that supports both an ETL type of integration as well as data change capture methods, as well as an event-based streaming service. In addition to this, Oracle's EIPaaS or Oracle Integration Cloud, as you know, comes with built-in process management for automated human workflow and task management. And we've also integrated that with RPA tools like UiPath and Automation Anywhere, all of which is governed through the cloud-native API gateway layer, which is a new service that we released and integrated with OIC, all built on the next generation OCR infrastructure. We also support a hybrid cloud deployment and a multi-cloud vendor integration environment with out-of-the-box connectivity to multiple clouds. Now, one of Oracle's key value proposition here is that we can deliver time to value and connect your business 4 times faster than any other vendor out there. And we have lots of use cases where customers have sort of moved from the SOA on-premise or just on-premise workloads to the cloud and seen the value of what Oracle Integration Cloud can do for you. So many of our customers have experienced a seamless transition from on-premise to the cloud through the solutions that build and connect on top of each other. So it's a journey. It's not a sort of a major, surgery, if you like. So for customers who are moving to the cloud, we provide a very quick solution to lift and shift their SOA integrations without any change to the cloud. So we have the SOA and OCI. We also call it SOA and OCI Marketplace. And you can literally lift and shift your SOA installation. Not only that, but you can also sort of bring your own license. So you can take your on-premise license and bring it to the cloud. And I think it was a couple of weeks ago, Larry also announced a support rewards program that for every certain amount of dollars spent in the cloud, you get a relief on your on-premise support. So we're trying to really make it easy for our customers to move their integrations to the cloud with all these options that you have. And then, with OIC, you can now leverage the SOA to OIC adapters to have a seamless connectivity where you can integrate your existing integrations, pardon the pun there, but also build new integrations in the cloud for your SaaS applications and have a common bridge across the two, and then continue to sort of build on top of that with process automation and Visual Builder Studio, building new experiences and the likes. So let's take a look at our crown jewel in the integration space, or Oracle Integration Cloud. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a cloud native service, completely re-architected, ground up, built on a microservices architecture on OCI. So this is not taking SOA or SOA on cloud and making it fit. It's not a fit into the cloud. It's actually a rebuild into the cloud. And we've leveraged all the knowledge and learnings of the last 6+ years to build an iPaaS based on the principles and key requirements of simplicity, rapid time to value, which is sort of what customers really expect in the cloud, and more specifically from an integration service. You can't be, you can't have a SaaS application where you can get up and running in a few months and then take 2 years to integrate this in your environment. So this is the key aspect of what it is. So our vision for OIC, and one of the key design principles from the beginning, was that we had to support the fast-growing digital use cases, whether it's mobile to blockchain, IoT, and over and beyond the classic sort of application and data integration use cases. So if you think back to SOA, sort of the real core focus was all about, how do I create, web services, and how do I integrate, and how do I orchestrate the flow of data between these applications. Yes, that is still, ground zero. You still have to do it. But we had to think through sort of how do we go beyond this, and why do people use integration? Of course, to integrate applications together, but it's the fabric through which you build your digital innovations. So, so that's been a real core aspect of it. So, OIC includes 4 key capabilities, right? So one is the application integration capability. So that is all about, connecting your SaaS and your on-prem business applications, 6-10 times faster using a whole bunch of pre-built adapters that we just continue to churn out over and more and more to new applications or new versions of the applications, and really to simplify the technical complexity of dealing with all the low-level APIs and the different ways you can integrate, whether it's through file or FBDI or through Atom, so on and so forth, for different apps. Oracle Integration also provides support for B2B e-commerce and EDI document processing. B2B integration provides for secure and reliable exchange of business documents with an Oracle Integration and trading partner, for example. Then we have the visual process automation that allows you to rapidly design, automate, and manage business process in the cloud. This is sort of an area where I'm going to double click today, because we're seeing a tremendous adoption in process automation that Arvind will quickly show you some of the really cool features we've added to this. The Visual Builder Studio gives you a quick way to extend SaaS and on-prem applications with drag and drop. I'll cover that in more detail. And Insight Analytics, providing a business-friendly experience, allowing you to model, collect, monitor business-level metrics beyond sort of the very classic diagnostics that you have for integration. This sort of elevates the playing field to the business level, so you can really understand, how your business integrations are going, as opposed to, did my adapter fail, or did the backend not respond, and so on and so forth. We have a whole bunch of pre-built connectivity adapters. I'll cover that in very quickly. We've been focusing on recipes and business accelerators. And in fact, this is another area where the Oracle SaaS team and the GBUs are also investing in creating what we call pre-built integrations that are templates that you can take and start extending for faster time to value for our customers, integrations to RPA, and all of this running on the native OCI cloud service, which means that you now have the ability to incorporate or adopt other services. So for example, I'll talk about this in a little bit more detail, but being able to use the ATP database for caching, if you like, or using the functions for creating microservices, or using our pre-built disaster recovery or API gateway for governance, and so on and so forth. So this sort of really provides a complete integration picture, including the ability, including having the flexibility of deployment. So a whole bunch of adapters that we just continue to add to. So we have adapters to all the ERP vendors, HCM vendors, CX vendors. We call them application adapters. We have technology adapters to all the databases. And we've done a lot of new releases that include enterprise messaging with event brokers like Kafka, Apache Kafka, and variants of Kafka. We continue to build integrations to REST and SOAP and all the core technologies, and productivity and social. So we continue to build on this. And one of the things that I also wanted to highlight is that we have released and will continue to do more work on this, creating a adapter SDK that you as partners can take on and build your own adapters, and you can monetize that as part of the overall business itself. So if there are systems or applications or custom applications that you want to build adapters for, please connect with Amit, who's on the call as well. His details will be shared later, and we can talk to you about sort of the SDK and how you can build your own adapters and take that to market along with us. We have a few partners that are already doing this, and we're seeing a lot of good success with that. The one other thing that we also added was the API management capabilities. So the API gateway was an OCI native service that is very tightly integrated with OIC. Allows you to sort of design and auto-generate API documentation. There's a portal for consuming these APIs. There's all these policies and the governance required for managing throttling and security of your APIs. So we now have a really, really strong OCI native API gateway story integrated with OIC. And we see a number of customers, the Archaeological Park of Pompeii, as well as Believe in Europe, that have been using this for API use cases. Now, I briefly mentioned sort of SOA on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. This is another key aspect as we move towards the journey as we help customers move in the journey towards the cloud. We're just sort of taking SOA and lift and shifting this on the SOA marketplace. So this is a very easy way for customers to sort of take the first step towards the cloud, and we're seeing a lot of this, especially as sort of there's a emphasis and focus on lift and shift of Oracle apps into the cloud. So whether it's EBS or PeopleSoft or JD Edwards, we're seeing a tremendous amount of these customers who are now beginning to bite on this and move their workloads to the cloud. And as I mentioned earlier, the first question they ask is, well, what happens to all my SOA integrations? And this provides a really natural path for our customers. So this, along with sort of the lift and shift of apps to the cloud, really becomes a very strong story. But the beauty here is that this is not a dead end, because they can now take that, expand with OIC, and now continue to add new cloud applications, whether that's Workday or Salesforce or Oracle apps, and have one consolidated, integrated story in integration. I wanted to sort of deviate a little bit and talk about this new concept called the Oracle Digital Integration Hub. So as we continued with our journey to help customers in digital transformation, we came across a number of challenges to deal with. For example, performance and availability of system of record, either backend, a scaling of the system of record to handle large volumes. So for example, if you have, most of these backend applications were designed with certain throughput and certain type of use cases in mind. Nobody sort of really thought through that, hey, I may have a case where I may have 15,000 mobile users working offline, coming off and hitting sync at the same time, and adding a load to this, or having a case where there's a new campaign that's come out. And we have this case with one of our customers where a new campaign comes out, and for the next sort of 24, 48 hours, their workload increases by the factor of 100 to 200x. Right, and the backends are not really designed to sort of handle this real hit at one end. Yes, they can handle a lot of volume and load, but not at a throughput level that we see with this digital transformation. Especially now, if you add IoT and so on and so forth to the mix, it really becomes hard. So that's sort of the volume aspect of it. But I sort of come from, for many of you who know me, I come from a mobile development background. And as a mobile developer looking from the outside in, there's a high velocity of change in experiences that require us to be able to change applications very quickly. You require mashup of data from multiple systems of record. Because again, the experience is not, I'm not giving you a front end to a back end. I'm actually giving you an experience where data is coming from multiple systems of record. And that has to deal with a high level of complexity with data and transactional integrity. Example, like if a rollback happens, if let's say one system of record is not available and I do a commit, what happens to my overall transactions? I do a rollback and handle failure in a composite transaction and so on and so forth. So what we're looking at is the Digital Integration Hub as a way to sort of bring all our OCI services along with OIC to provide a much more complete solution. This is not a product per se, this is much more of an architectural concept, but we are doing a lot of work to have these components pre-integrated to make your life easy. There's a lot of consulting work required from partners like yourselves to really make this a reality for our customers. So just quickly looking through it, sort of, so we have the iPaaS and, the API gateway component, but the key aspects of this is being able to sort of, abstract things to the API layer, provide a number of capabilities, and we're also providing sort of capabilities like GraphQL to define dynamic queries and single requests to enable two-way sync and so on and so forth, right? But the key aspect is the data layer that's been sort of a crown jewel at Oracle for many years with the Oracle database. With the advances in Oracle ATP and also the NoSQL offering, it gives sort of our partners a choice on the data caching and mashup layer to store data, for quick retrieval. So you don't have to commit everything to the database. You can cache some of the data, which is very critical, especially when you're interacting using mobile apps or chatbots, to be able to get data at the quick clip of a finger, as opposed to waiting for your API to transact and with other things happening at the same end. In addition, sort of the ATP also has sort of ML capabilities as well. So, you can do a whole bunch of additional intelligence to that. Now, the other layer is a big differentiator we have over other sort of, eIPaaS providers, that we provide services for you to develop serverless functions, if I can say that right, and use the sort of the iPaaS orchestration layer to orchestrate these functions themselves. So in other words, if for those who may have experience using AWS step functions and functions, they're very similar to that. You can go create your functions in OCI and use OIC's orchestration to orchestrate between these functions as well. And this becomes really critical when you have to do mashups and you have to create sort of more complex microservices, which is sort of not available out of the box from the applications as well. In addition to this, we provide high code, low code tools for you guys to develop. And then across the stack, it's a common identity model, common logging model, monitoring, and then insight analytics. So this is an area that we see a tremendous amount of push. And I think this is the same terminology that Gartner uses, called the Digital Integration Hub, as the next evolution of iPaaS in the market. So within integration, I don't know how much time I've spent. There's a lot of time spent on integration here. We have an award-winning integration platform. It's being used by a lot of the teams, a lot of customers. Across a SaaS stack, we have customers using it. SaaS teams using it and customers using it. So quickly sort of go through some. Co-op is using it for managing all their HCM workflow from hiring to retirement. Western Digital, they've completely moved to the ERP cloud with a number of different ERP applications and wanted one consolidated sort of system of truth, and they use integration for that. Milgard Windows use it for their customer call centers and integrating that with Salesforce.com. So some really good use cases there. And FedEx, again, for ERP. I'll just sort of stop at this one for integration, which is, here's an example with our partner eProceed that has helped Skanska sort of move from SOA to OIC. And they completed this whole thing in 4 months. They took the first step, moved from SOA to SOA CS, and now completely on OIC. And for more of these use cases, we can follow up and share with that. All right. So this was actually just one part of many. So I'm really running late here, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about digital assistant now. Gartner predicts that by 2022, next year, we all will be interacting using conversational platform on a daily basis. And I just wanted to highlight a part of the quote from Steve Miranda, who's our EVP for applications. And by now, sort of every application, every business unit has the digital assistant as an embedded feature of the user experience. But the point I wanted to make here is that as we look at sort of the experience of the future, our own EVP is calling HTML our old UI, or will soon become our old UI, and we're beginning to see that behavior within our application teams. Now, one new thing that I wanted to introduce, and we'll be making a big splash on this very soon, is that beyond digital assistant was the core service through which we started introducing machine learning, or bringing machine learning or artificial intelligence into Oracle. Digital assistant is powered by sort of two core machine learning services, what we call the language service and the speech service. Now, one of the things we're doing as part of the overall OCI AI services is to release a number of what we call AI services. So if you look at our layer, so you have the OCI data, OCI compute layer. We acquired data science a few years back, and now we have a data science service where if you want to go as data scientists down to the level of building models, we have a full stack where you can build, train, share, operationalize sort of your models. But what we're doing is we are extending this to a high level of services called AI services. So we have taken the language component out of digital assistant and made it a standalone services and added more things like aspect-based sentiment analysis, text analytics. I won't cover all of that in detail today. We'll do a follow-up on that. But the core is that we're creating discrete AI services like vision, language, speech, decisions, of which we're building, and then that sort of high-level services, which are called the business AI, where you have things like the document processing, digital assistant, cognitive search. And this is the exact stack the Oracle SaaS applications are also using to further automate and build intelligence into the app. So this is the same stack that you guys have been using, that the application teams are using, and we continue to expand on this. So what is a digital assistant? It's essentially a platform for building intelligent chatbots. As I mentioned earlier, it's using the language and the speech recognition service for doing all the machine learning aspect to it. There's insights, and you can interact with it with multiple channels. Now, one key aspect is that the SaaS and the GPU teams are embedding skills. Again, these are out-of-the-box skills, and again, you can use the platform to enhance, extend, or build custom skills. On the right, you have something going on, an animation going on of this new thing we released called RT. RT is a skill, a digital assistant skill, that can answer questions about itself. So this is a very cool way where we now sort of demonstrate the digital assistant. So this is a digital assistant homepage, the documentation page. Sorry, hang on 1 second. And over here, you see the digital assistant now embedded. And we're seeing this behavior in all the apps itself. So I can come in and ask a question like, what is the digital assistant? And it'll go and get me answers. So I can basically get that information. I can say, I can read less, read more. I can say, what is an entity, right? And it provides more information. I can click on this, and I can, anytime I can want more information, I can click on this, and it automatically sort of takes me to the documentation page where I have the custom entities and so on and so forth, right? So again, I won't spend too much time on this. If you guys are interested, just hit the documentation page. In the interest of time, I'll keep going. RT is something that you guys can use. We provide you the source code of that as well, so it's got the best practices built in, and you can use that as a way to sort of help your customers as well. So what makes this a digital assistant? The whole aspect of a digital assistant is that there is one interface through which customers can basically ask a question. But think about Alexa for the enterprise, but the big difference here is that this is all implicit routing, in that you don't have to sort of say, hey, Alexa, ask this skill something. You just ask a question, it'll route it to the relevant skill. As I said, a lot of skills built out of the box by Oracle SaaS teams. but but you guys can build your own. The platform is there, the same platform that's used by the Oracle apps teams. I'm not going to spend too much time on this other than just to share that this is now a complete microservices architecture. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the language service, the speech service that we're releasing as its own standalone services as well, of course, embedded in the ODA itself. And there are all these other services that totally make up the Oracle Digital Assistant. The adoption for this is tremendous within the applications team. We're seeing new skills being built every day. You can go to the skill store. You can take this, and all of these skills can be extended using the extensibility toolkit that's provided. A lot of customers. This is an example of a customer we worked with. Our partner here, SoftBank, Exelon, that uses it for customer self-service, integrated with the Oracle Service Cloud. Hilton was our first HCM customer that used the out-of-the-box skill. That's 180,000 employees using it, integrated with the Oracle HCM component. PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the top firms here, they use it integrated with the ERP cloud. And there's some incredible stats here. They've been able to reduce billing time by 95%. And more accurate billing. This is again self-service where all the bill someone can raise an invoice through the digital assistant, get it processed, and take care of sort of the overall cash collection process as well. Very quickly on the OCI services, OCI AI services. Language is GA now, so if you want to play around with the language service, please contact us, or it's available in the OCI console. Speech will be released as a standalone for transcription services, roughly in the January timeframe. There is Anomaly Detection is already released, and we're seeing a lot of adoption of that. So if you have some IoT use cases or interested in using machine learning for any anomaly detection, that service is available. Vision is something that we'll be releasing very, very soon. As I said, it's already part of the expense app. So I'll just quickly sort of switch to that for 1 second. So for those that haven't seen it, this is integrated with our expense. So I just sort of took a snapshot of a receipt. So snapshot of a receipt, asked me to authenticate to Fusion apps, and it automatically broke it down to 9766 for my meal type on June 30th. It was the Thai kitchen, and I haven't submitted it yet, but I wanted to show you folks this. But this is not sort of futuristic stuff. This is already there. We're expanding this to other type of use cases. All right. With this, I just want to do a very quick demo of something something cool that we're releasing in the next few months. We're calling this Conversation to SQL. For those that have experience with digital assistant today, and pretty much most of the virtual assistant or chatbot platforms ask you to sort of go create an intent, go create entities, go create dialogues, and then you have to code all of that, which is sort of the norm on how you build chatbots or skills. One of the things that we've been researching is what we call intent-less digital assistants. So essentially the idea there is that we can basically point the digital assistant to in this case, sort of a data model, and we can automatically start asking questions there, okay? So let me quickly do an example here. So I've got a whole bunch of databases. I'm going to pick one about car manufacturers. So, all right, so here's the schema that we have. So think about this from just a general database perspective, right? So you have a schema, you have continents, countries, car makers in a country, countries belong to a continent, you have a model list, you have car makers have models, models have car names have, cars have data about, mile per gallon, mileage per gallon, and horsepower, et cetera, et cetera. I can quickly look at the content here, and I can see that there's some content here, right? So this is just a front end to a database. Here's sort of a conversational AI piece, and again, this is development. So we'll try a few things here. So I have a question like, show me all car makers. And what this will do is it automatically take the conversation that I just put in and automatically create a SQL statement. So no coding required, no custom components required, none of that. Automatically generates a SQL statement for me, and it's got me 22 items, and here are sort of 22 items for the car makers, right? So I can ask a question like, which ones are from USA? right? So in Automate took that and held context. This is sort of where we use sort of the sequence to sequence and semantic part of some very advanced sort of language processing capabilities to take my previous conversation and use that to create joins. So it automate just that one statement that I made, which ones are from the US, translated to this complex SQL query, and it gave me, all the companies that are based out in the US. So I can ask another question, which is what are the Chrysler, right? Chrysler models. Again, it created a join from a whole bunch of from the previous and also from the data model that I have. But I'll just sort of copy paste a very complex thing, which I don't want to type in right now. So I ask a question like, what is the full name of each car maker along with its ID and how many models it produces, right? So multiple intents, multiple combinations here. And it goes and generates the SQL. Come on, there we go. Look at the SQL it created. It selected. I was able to use aggregates like count, joins, group by. So just by using a conversation, we're able to auto-generate a SQL statement and get data. Just imagine the possibilities now. Now, what makes it really exciting for us is with the Oracle apps, we own the database, we own the schemas. So we're working with them to enable those schemas, especially for read-only type inquiries, which is what, a good 70-80% of conversational AI is about queries. And so this is some very exciting things that we've been working on, and we'll be releasing this pretty soon. Okay, with that, I'm going to hand this over to Arvind.
Thank you, Suhas. Hi, everyone. So let me share my screen. So for the next 10 minutes, I'll plan to go through and give you an introduction on process automation. So like Suhas mentioned, as part of the intelligent automation platform at Oracle, process automation plays a key role. Some of the common challenges that we help customers solve is enabling customers to look at business processes holistically. So your business processes may be long running in nature. Some of them could be multi-years, some of them could be multiple months, weeks. They could span multiple systems, multiple cloud platforms. And we enable you to look at all of that holistically across system-to-system integration, as well as processes that require humans to interact with, as well. So if you think of your customer's cloud journey, they could be in a hybrid situation where some of their apps are on-prem, some of their apps are in the cloud. They could have multi-vendor applications. Your business processes that are part of your company could span all of them, and that could span multiple boundaries across lines of businesses as well. The lack of digital automation for a lot of these causes customers to, have time to market issues where they are the teams are not collaborating. There is holes in the processes themselves, and it causes loss of revenue over a period of time. Finally, but importantly, it also causes compliance issues. So if you ask about, what happened to that particular process, why was that order not processed? Why was that, order not approved in time? Why was there a trade compliance issue? The lack of visibility and insights into your business process, again, cause a number of regulatory issues from a GRC perspective. That's where process automation comes in, along with the other automation services that are part of the OCI platform. With process automation, we offer a number of different capabilities. At the center of it, we offer structured process modeling using what is called the BPMN standards. Structured processes are processes that are defined or pre-known in some ways. The path that it's going to take is known. The designer, who's creating this process, has the ability to create a structure or a process itself that has human interaction, but the path is mostly known up ahead of time during the design time. We also support what we call dynamic process using case management or the CMMN standards as part of process automation. This enables you to create processes that are much more unstructured in nature. This could have multiple paths based on the input that is coming from the knowledge worker. It could be data and event driven. So you could have certain events that make you to skip stages, certain events that take you in a sequential manner. It could be data driven. So the data that is coming in through the payload could have a big say in how the process actually evolves and moves across the flows. Apart from that, we offer human workflow as well as workspace, as well as tracking for customers. So from an end user perspective, the process automation workspace gives you a way to interact with these processes. So to initiate a process, to interact with a process, to approve a task, all of that is provided from an end user perspective. And from an administrative perspective, we offer tracking for you where you can actually see the paths the process has taken and then take action on it as needed. We also offer decision services. So based on DMN standards, we offer decision services, which could be created and reused across processes. So you could create decision tables, decision models that could be used as part of your structured processes. Finally, for end user engagement, we provide you web forms. You can use some of the native web forms we provide. And we also offer connectivity from through our application where you can interact with business objects and other entities that are needed. Apart from this, if you're looking at advanced connectivity from a system integration perspective, you can use process in conjunction with integration, which enables you to create integrations using adapters and then bring that and use that as part of your overall automation. With web forms as well as the human workspace, there's a lot of capabilities that are embeddable. So if you're creating web applications, if you're creating SaaS experiences for your end customers, then a lot of these experiences are embeddable in nature as well. So that while you use process underneath the covers, your customer is interacting with this from the system of record therein. So a few more details on structured versus dynamic processes. Structured processes is typically how, I'm assuming you're familiar with a lot of the flow diagrams that you see on the left side here. These are transitional processes that are much more structured, known upfront. Simple processes like approvals and invoice processing can be modeled as structured processes. Dynamic process that we have introduced enables you to look at data as well as event-based executions or transactions that need to be handled. So think about complex processes like insurance case management, emergency response, that enable you to model these over an experience that you need to create. A lot of our customers use process along with integration for interactions with HCM, ERP, CX, a number of different applications to extend those use cases. Some of the examples are mentioned here. And like Suhas mentioned, there's a lot of our SaaS teams are in the process of building out applications and templates that customers could use. So permits and inspections for public sector, action plans, journeys. There's a number of examples where you could think of HR onboarding processes or templates that could be used. Those are being pre-built and that can be provided by the SaaS team so that it can be used by customers in a much more seamless manner and fashion. And this is where, as partners, we are looking to work with you closely to understand some of the templates that you're looking to provide to your customers. And as Suhas mentioned, as part of our recipes and accelerators that we want to build out, we're looking to work with you and your input is going to be vital here. So please do reach out if you have use cases, templates that you are looking to provide as part of the applications. So let's do a quick walkthrough of a process application. So this is a rental car demo. So if you are, I'm assuming you're all familiar with the rental car reservation and approval process. For this one, we have a dynamic process that is being created where you can see multiple stages. So you have a booking stage, a pickup stage, and a return stage that is being created, and then global activities that could be acted on at any given point of time. We are using a number of different modeling components for dynamic processes. So for the process app itself. So we have structured processes, dynamic processes, certain UI components are being created, and then we are also using APIs to invoke some of the OCI AI services to get predictions, for example, for mileage consumption. And we also have rules for security and compliance. So for this particular process, we are using dynamic process that enables you to look at a number of different stages. We also have a structured process that has been created that enables you to act on certain tasks, things like car transfer. So let's actually go through a quick example here on at least the first few steps for the car reservation. So here I'm putting in the reservation request. So this is the end user experience, and all this can be embedded within the SaaS or from Visual Builder. So I'm going to fill in the zip code for where I'm picking up the car. It's going to make a REST call. The fields are going to be auto-populated here. I'm going to say I'm not going to drop it off in the same location. And I'm going to make a special request for a car that I need here. So let's say 2 doors, a number of people. So I need a sizable car. So this is the workspace where the end user has now initiated a request. I can see that when I come to the tasks that have been created. As a service agent who's helping the customer, I can see the verify booking task that is available for me. And I can go in and say, okay, we have a new reservation request. I can put in comments. I can put in attached documents and other details and submit this particular process. Once that has been created, the stages that we looked at will continue to happen. So you can see the customer desk process where the customer is at the desk to pick up the car. You can similarly kind of go through, see the details. Here, when I expand the form, you can see that we have made a AI service to an AI model to get car acceptance, confidence levels, miles per gallon predictions. And you can use any of your AI services that you need as part of your modeling for your process or the web experiences. So I'm going to approve this. And final step here, I wanted to show you some of the administrative experiences. So you can see that this is the process that is ongoing or active at this point in time. You can see that the booking stage is complete, my pickup stage is active, and the return step is pending now that the car is with the customer. And you can see all the details from an audit perspective and act on them based on what you're looking to do. With that, I will hand it off back to Suhas.
I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This was something that was covered recently in a partner seminar. I just want to very quickly mention a couple of things. First of all, the Visual Builder platform is sort of a new name. So you probably knew it as Visual Builder before. It's a combination of the Developer Cloud and Visual Builder to create now this new component called Visual Builder Studio, which is included as part of the Oracle Integration Cloud, or you can use it as part of Integration Cloud. And the idea here is that obviously you can continue to sort of build your application using low code, no code with a visual sort of experience to build all your objects, to build your UI and so on and so forth. But at the same time, you have an integrated CI/CD and developer sort of cloud service capabilities to integrate with your Git or a built-in Git repository and have the full CI/CD capabilities and so on and so forth. There's a full integrated developer experience. So you can create your productivity through visualization, and a lot of the new sort of Redwood templates that the SaaS teams use are built into Visual Studio Builder. So all of these flows are built in, and this is sort of what I meant by the full DevOps lifecycle is also built into it. Here are some examples of how the SaaS teams are using it. So here's sort of the UI look and feel. This is the new UI look and feel. We just have an integrated digital assistant into this itself. So this whole project is being called Ask Oracle, where you can either search, ask, speak, and look for UI all in one sort of interface. Here's sort of what the new HCM connection UI looks like, and the org hierarchy in HCM. And we've also been winning a lot of awards. In fact, just today, the San Francisco Design Institute awarded Redwood as one of the most innovative UI, which would probably unheard of when you talk about Oracle and user experiences, right? But we are sort of making a difference and changing the leaf there. Again, lots of customers using it. Caesars Entertainment extending ERP with Visual Studio, Yum Brands with HCM, and Panasonic with their CX components. So with that, I'm going to hand it back to Jürgen to talk about partner support and resources.
Thanks, Suhas, for the excellent strategy update, and thanks to Arvind for the great demo to extend Oracle SaaS with process capability. You as a partner are key to our joint success. 8 out of the top 10 Oracle integration customers have been implemented by you as a partner. Congratulations and thanks for your excellent work. You as a partner drive cloud utilization. SaaS needs to connect with other SaaS services and on-premise applications. Oracle Integration is the only vendor who offers certified adapters for Oracle SaaS. Oracle Integration empowers your SaaS implementation and your service revenue. Customers gain competitive advantage through customization. Oracle integration, process, and Visual Builder service are used by the Oracle teams developing SaaS, and the same tools can be used by you as a partner to customize and extend SaaS. This is the majority of service revenue where you can leverage pre-built templates and extensions. Innovate SaaS with conversational AI. Oracle Digital Assistant offers pre-built SaaS bots, templates, and the platform to showcase and deliver innovation. Your opportunity to realize additional service revenue and increase customer satisfaction. Brief summary of the last 12 months. As you have seen, the Oracle fiscal year results are excellent. Oracle integration achieved hyper growth thanks to thousands of customers. Together, we invested heavily in time and resources to grow our trained and certified consultants and to improve the skill quality. In 18 virtual 3-day hands-on integration bootcamps, 1,613 partner attendees have been trained, which resulted in 1,233 certified integration experts. With more than 3,600 persons on the waiting list, the integration bootcamps continue to be our priority. Thanks to Supani, Kishore, and Nathan for this excellent work. The Digital Assistant meetups was our first training with more than 1,500 attendees. Thanks to Ruben, Martin, and Grant for the massive online course. To continue to grow our joint business, I will highlight 4 steps to success. Get access to the cloud, use the sales kits, leverage marketing, and attend a free training. As Andrew revealed his best sales secret, it's all about the demo. So get access to the cloud for your customer demo. The playground, if you want to access integration or digital assistant, start with the playground. The playgrounds are shared instances which can be accessed anytime free of charge. For details and access, please see the community newsletter. You plan to present with a demo or customer proof of concept, get a free trial. You receive $300 of free credits, good for up to 3,500 hours of Oracle Cloud usage. Credits are eligible for any cloud service, including integration and digital assistance for the next 30 days. Your Oracle Partner Manager can also extend a free trial. Demo.oracle.com provides access to pre-configured and documented SaaS services. You can choose between instant services, which are unlimited shared domains immediately available, or you can request a dedicated service for up to 5 days to a customer presentation. How to prepare your next customer meeting and where to find a presentation in PowerPoint format. Sales Central gives you access to the same material we use to train the Oracle team for all Oracle products, including on-premise, license, and cloud. The content supports you throughout the complete sales cycle. Prepare with the battle cards, discover with the elevator pitch and call scripts, develop an opportunity with demos, present a customer presentation deck, and prove the value with success stories. I want to highlight the OIC and ODA product content. Once you log in to Oracle Sales Central, you can choose between any Oracle product. Select Oracle Digital Assistant and Oracle Integration. Here you find the elevator pitch, the battle card, and the customer presentation. Add to the customer presentations your success stories and your service offerings, and upload the cheat sheet and customer presentation on your mobile device. How to promote your services and replicate your success. Promote your service offerings and solutions to customers and the Oracle sales team via Partner Finder, which is available from oracle.com and visited by over 30,000 customers and Oracle employees worldwide in search for your partners and solutions that fit their needs. Oracle Cloud Marketplace is an online store dedicated to cloud services and cloud applications. For example, you can find there pre-built adapters from you as a partner. Oracle Cloud Marketplace is also available from oracle.com for both customers and Oracle employees. We are very interested in joint marketing campaigns with the goal to generate leads and opportunities. Some campaign examples. With our partner Quest in the US, we hosted a real-world SOA modernization campaign to uplift SOA Suite on premises to the Oracle Cloud Platform and to build hybrid integrations with OIC. Together with Deborah Lilly from Accenture, we run a chatbot campaign to innovate SaaS with Oracle Digital Assistant. And with our partner SoftBank, Oracle Digital Assistants in the utility industry as an industry-specific activity. Here you see an example of a campaign with Accenture to connect SaaS with pre-built recipes. Both companies invited their customer base via an e-blast and social media to attend a joint webcast. With more than 650 registrations and 270 live attendees, the webcast was a big success and continues to generate leads as an on-demand version. In case you are interested, please contact myself. We do require the following to run a joint campaign: update your partner finder profile, complete a win template with your customer success, and develop a concrete service offering, including a next step and a campaign contact person. Trained and certified experts deliver successful projects. Boost your career and attend a free online integration hands-on training to become a certified integration expert. For SaaS consultants and integration developers, we offer free hands-on trainings. Schedules include Asia, EMEA, and the US. For the rest of the year, we plan additional locations in India, South America, EMEA, and North America. For details and registrations, please see our monthly community newsletters. As a training preparation, we recommend a pre-sales solution engineer guided online pass, including a free online exam. As a follow-up, we recommend the Oracle implementation exam via Pearson VUE Test Center. The OIC Bootcamp is also available on demand. And for salespersons, we offer a free online training and free online exam. To get started with Oracle Digital Assistant, Ruben Rodriguez and the Oracle team created an on-demand training. The meetup includes 4 modules: an Oracle Digital Assistant introduction and overview, module 2 and 3 are hands-on labs on the Katacoda platform, and the last part is a best practice session on how to build the awesome bot. Technical experts can become a certified implementation champion, and for sales managers, we offer a free online training and exam. Thanks for your contribution to our partner community. It's unique to see the collaboration and support between partners. Our next goal is to grow the community from currently 8,383 members to more than 10,000. The community updates you with the latest product, marketing, and sales information. As a member, you receive our monthly newsletter, get invited to our monthly webcasts, and you can collaborate via the Slack channel. Please join our partner communities. For integration, go to bit.ly/OIC partner. And for the developer community with the digital assistant content, go to bit.ly/ODA partner. Today's webcast is recorded. An on-demand version, including slides, will be published at Oracle Video Hub. Also, the monthly partner community webcasts are available on demand. Please visit Video Hub and subscribe to our partner community channel. To summarize today's presentation, get access to the Oracle Cloud via the free partner playgrounds. For access, please see the community newsletters. For customer presentations and demos, use a free trial. And for SaaS services, demo.oracle.com. Access Sales Central for the Oracle Sales Kits. Upload the cheat sheets and customer presentations on your mobile device. And please include your service offering and success stories. Promote your service offerings and applications via the customer base and the Oracle sales team via Partner Finder and Cloud Marketplace. To promote your success with the Oracle team, please complete the win template and contact myself to discuss a joint marketing campaign. Attend a free online training for Digital Assistant and the live virtual classes for Oracle integration to become a certified cloud expert. In case you are not yet a community member, please join our partner communities. For questions, please contact your Oracle Partner Manager. As we just started the new fiscal year, take the opportunity to meet and discuss a joint business plan. We are looking forward to support your sales, marketing, and enablement activities. For questions and collaboration, please join our Slack channels. Thanks for attending today's presentation. Thanks to the team for the great support. Thanks to Suhas and Arvind for the excellent presentations. Please complete the online feedback survey and send us a tweet, #PassCommunity. Thanks for the joint business. Let's celebrate and accelerate growth.